Hello everybody, you're very welcome back to our video series Finding Christ in Every County. We're here in County Tyrone today in the Sperrin Valley mountain range. The word Sperrin, the name Sperrin just means little pinnacle, and it's Ireland's largest upland blanket bog area. Lovely for cycling, for walking, for hiking. Really pleasant, especially on a day like this. But you'll notice behind me this giant wooden sculpture. There are 3 of these on the mountain trails, walking trails here in the Sperrin. 3 giant wooden sculptures designed by a man called Thomas Dando, an international designer. And the first one is called Noannis. Now Noannis is in the Glenealy Valley, and Noannis represents the ancient storyteller of the past, and myths and legends linked to this area. There's a lot of stone circles here linked to Ireland's pagan past. Noannis, the storyteller, the past. And then we have Darrick, and Darrick is the present. And Darrick represents the guardian of the present. We're here today and we're living in the present. And last of all then we have number 3, which is Ceoldan. And Ceoldan is a stargazer of the future. Past, present and future. We all have a past, present and future in life. I want to read just now a simple Bible verse from the book of Ecclesiastes in the Old Testament. This is the NIV translation. Whatever is has already been, and what will be has been before, and God will call the past to account. The writer there explains how in many ways life in a sense is a cycle, and generations follow generations and make the same mistakes and do the same things. But let us never forget that God will call the past to account. Let us never think that somehow we're part of this universe, that we die and that's it. Don't forget, God made this physical world by his power. God is not part of the universe. God is not in the trees, the plants, the flowers. And the almighty eternal creator who has shown himself out in the person of his son Jesus Christ will call the past to account. I remember in life when I had to face my past, my guilty past, the sin of my past, the fact that I had disobeyed God's law and therefore was deserving of his judgment. The past. What about the present? 2 Corinthians chapter 6. Paul writes here, he says, "See, now is the accepted time, now is the day of salvation." The present, this is the day of opportunity. This is the day that you can be saved. This is the day that you can get right with God. All because of Christ and all because of the work he finished at the cross. Nothing to do with your self-effort, your moral life, your church attendance, baptism, sprinkling. All of those things cannot remove the guilt and the sin stain of the past, and they can't make you right with God. But now is the day of salvation where you can come as a guilty sinner and trust Christ. Be born again like that man in John chapter 3. The past, you can know salvation here and now. What about the future? You see, you could turn to the book of 2 Timothy, and please do. And Paul writes there to Timothy, he's about to die for the gospel as a martyr. And he says this, "I know whom I have believed." He's gone out to eternity to meet God, and he's absolutely safe and calm and assured in the finished work of Christ. He has no fear or dread of meeting God. His future is assured. I wonder what about your future today as far as God is concerned. If you were to die today, is it just a blank unknown tinged with fear? Or can you say, like this man here, "I know whom I have believed"? Can you say like Paul in another place, "The Son of God who loved me and gave himself for me"? That's the wonder of the gospel. As regards our past, it can be blotted out because of the death of Christ. In the present we can know salvation. Not a matter as religion tells us of some judgment day in the future. No, we can know here and now that we're saved and born again and sure of heaven. And therefore we can have absolute peace and assurance about the future. A God that requires the past, the present day of salvation, and a future that you could have with Christ in heaven eternally. Because and only because of what Jesus Christ did at Calvary. Again, if you'd like a Bible, please request one. I'd be glad to send you one out free of charge, because these matters are very clearly laid out in God's Word, the Bible. We don't have to be in any mist about it, any fog. We don't have to be like Ceoldan the stargazer, gazing into mythology or gazing into the horoscopes. No, God's word stands forever clear and forever fixed in heaven, and we can know salvation here and now because of the death of Christ and what he did at the cross.